The gaming industry is now larger than the global movie and music industries combined. Top sports athletes, famous musicians, and even the world's top investors have all joined in the gaming phenomenon. And many of you are probably interested in exploring your own opportunity within this fast-growing industry. Now, you'll have the chance to learn from talented professionals working in the industry and understand how they're using gaming to drive growth for their brands. You'll hear directly how they got started and how you too can pursue new career paths through community gaming. So, have fun, learn a lot, and hopefully do more with your newfound knowledge. I now turn the evening over to our moderator, Brooklyn's very own HipHopGamer. Enjoy.
Eric Adams! How you feel, man?
You know what? I'm going to my mother's house in my room upstairs, and I'm getting my gold chain that I had like yours.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Eric, my uncle said to tell you hi. My uncle Billy, Timothy Pearson.
Oh, man.
That's my uncle.
He's a legend, brother.
Yeah, man. So we all family, man. So listen, I know the audience got a couple of questions, but before we get to that, I had one question for you myself. You talked about in your intro video, you talked about the importance of gaming and realizing the impact that it's having on the kids and everything like that. So in your role, just being a leader, period, what's some of the things that you are looking to do or learn more about gaming that you feel could be helpful to the community?
We want to not only be the consumers, but actually be part of the designing of the games, building out the sales, having the industry give back in a real way. And we need to start with the level of our young people back in elementary schools that are really playing the game. We can start shaping their minds on how to be part of the entire industry and institution of gaming. It's so powerful. When you look at the games, I go back and forth to China a lot, probably 6 or 7 times, and you look at how esports is really taking over sports. And think about this for a moment. Our young people are comfortable with games. Why aren't we thinking about, as we are talking about schools are now safe to open, why aren't we using avatars and other ways of gaming to not only learn educationally, but also to be a force for the reform we're calling for? How about not using gaming to talk about how do we bridge the gap of communications? You know, we live in these silos. So how about having competition where my Chinese community is playing with my African American, my Mexican community, my Jewish community? I think we're in a good place with gaming. We can tear down those traditional walls that prevented us from cross-pollinating cultures and ideas. We need to go beyond where the gaming is now. There's some great opportunities, and I'm excited about what you're doing here because we're opening a new conversation to gaming, not just playing the game.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody that's in the chat right now, whatever question you have for Eric Adams right now, please post it in the chat. Next up, Kate, I gotta throw it to you. Eric, one of the things that Kate spoke about earlier that was so powerful is her passion for culture and making sure that people are treated fairly so growth can actually take place properly and stuff. Kate, please, whatever question you may have for Eric, please ask him.
Yeah, well, it's great to meet you, by the way, and thank you for supporting this. This is just fantastic. So, I mean, in my capacity in the advocacy side of the things I've been doing, I've talked to a lot of government officials around the world, including I was in Tehran 2 years ago. And one of the things I just love, and just to kind of echo what you said, is just that the realization I think that's happening, and I don't know if I have a question other than a confirmation of what you were saying, and you could, confirm that or not. But what I'm seeing among a lot of government officials are they're realizing that gaming is not only a viable industry, which they want to have in their jurisdiction because it has good, good paying jobs and all that, but it's also just, it's this creative mechanism that brings so many different art forms together, brings technology and art and media and all these things together. And I don't know, is that kind of how you see it as well?
Yes, without a doubt. And Kate, you're dead on, because let's be clear, uh, not every young person is going to be able to travel to some distant shores or distant place, but exposure really allows you to think beyond your geographical area. So if we start using gaming to expose young people to what is out there, we will remove them from that anti-Christopher Columbus theory that if you leave your block, you're going to fall off the planet. Our young people need to see the possibilities and the potentiality of, hey, what is it like to communicate and play with a gamer in another land somewhere? Because if I'm gaming with you and you are in India, then we're going to develop that relationship. And now I'm thinking about this place called India. I'm going to start thinking differently. Many of our young people are unable to think differently because we localize not only where they stay, but we localize their minds and we're localizing their possibilities so they never become their full potential of who they could become. This is an amazing opportunity to use gaming as in the Karate Kid moment where he thought he was just washing the car, but he was learning karate moves. Gaming can have people think they're just playing a game, but they're shaping their minds to think beyond the boundaries that they've been historically limited to.
Amazing, yo. And I'm gonna tell you one thing to capitalize on what you just said, and I'm gonna get this question from Marla Abarca because she has a question in the chat. My grandmother, like I said before, she taught me how to play video games when I was 4. And when I went to LA for the first time to E3, my very first E3 was in 2008. When I went out there, now I grew up in Brooklyn, East New York, right? And when I went to LA for the first time and seen so many different things, was around so many people that I looked up to and admired, it changed everything. Like it
Right.
like that switch flicked on simply because I got out of my normal hood. You know what I mean? And let me know that I can have more and be more just by being out there. And that right there is so true, Eric. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So this question comes from Marla Abarca. She represents the outreach program for Guns Down, Life Up youth programs. And and her question is pretty much how games can be utilized to help lower the crime rate and all the stuff that's going on. So I guess what how I could articulate what she's trying to ask you, Eric.
Now I feel what she's saying because it's powerful. Because you can you can settle beef not with bullets, but with games. You can settle so much. You see now where people are turning to guns instead of games. And many of the gamers, people who play games, will play games and then they get into beef and they hit the streets and they pick up a gun. So there's another way to settle a beef. There's another way of teaching young people to design a game, to participate in gaming. The brilliant minds of our young brothers and sisters who are caught up in the violence right now because we're not giving anyone opportunities. When I walk the streets at night, because I'm out in the street late at night and I walk and I stop and I talk to our young people, they say, listen, I'm not in school, I don't have a job, I sleep all day, I hang out here at night, I drink some Hennessy, next thing you know, the crew is having some problems. But if we give real opportunities in the gaming industry, the multi-billion-dollar industry of gaming must be a part of how do we deal with some of the inner city issues and some of the inner city problems, because it's a win-win, because you don't want to lose your constituency who's buying your games, who's using your games. You want to keep them as productive as possible. So I think, yes, and that's a great organization, by the way, where they deal with the real issues of violence. And I'm all in that gaming is a great way to deal with some of the violence that we're seeing.
That's amazing. And it's so funny, like the questions is coming in the chat. Someone said that they literally have the game that you was just like referring to. They literally have that game and was trying to figure out what's the best way to get a hold of you to be able to potentially demonstrate that game to you, to be able to use it as a tool to help to what you're saying. So like, is there whether it's an email or your assistant, but what would be the best way
you know what?
to get a hold of you?
I would put my my cell to get it, but you know, then I have all sorts of shorties texting me and calling me, and I don't want that to happen.
You know what I'm saying? You're a ladies' man. I know you don't want nobody to bother you. You know what I'm saying? I
get it. But they can shoot me an email to bpericadams@gmail. Boy Peter Eric Adams @gmail, and that comes right to my hip. I will get right back to them and connect them with the team, so that we can do that. I love that concept and idea, so that we can make that happen. And thank them for sharing that with me. Let's do that.
Absolutely. And listen, my email is hiphopgamer@hiphopgamer.net. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's just more options to be able to reach us, because what you're doing is amazing. And if the opportunity is there, then we need to make it happen. I know Anthony and Alec may have questions for you too. And you know I got you to about 7:15, I believe. So I got a couple more minutes with you. So Tamika Red Infamy Moultrie, that's my girl, by the way. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby right there. I love you, girl. All right, so I had to throw that out there. But Red Infamy, she had a question as well. She said, what help is needed to get gaming into the STEM curriculum for NYC education systems? To provide to provide the opportunities and representation for our underrepresented youth. There you go. What's your thoughts on that?
That's strong. First of all, we're using an antiquated model to educate. You know, we still use the rote learning system. We are not using technology that we've learned on, even how the human brain operates. We are not matching our educational system to it. Like, think about this for a moment. 80% of our brain develops in the first 1,000 days of life. 80%. And we can empower parents so that they can participate in the development, the neuron growth of a child's brain by using the gaming system, by using real state-of-the-art models. We still use antiquated methods. And even when you take the 2 months off during the summer, you don't have to be in the classroom to still get instruction and learning. If you have a real gaming program over the summer where young people are using the games to also be part of the development of their brain, learning how to improve on their cognitive abilities, we need to infuse how to make games, how to really have it part of the STEAM program. Then young people won't stop learning when they leave the classroom. They'll be extending learning because they're doing it in the methods that they're used to, that they enjoy, and that they're encouraged to do. That's the focus. And so she's dead on. We need to have a real gaming program in the STEAM program in our schools.
We got so much more other stuff to talk about. This is so crazy. I'm very excited. So Alec, I'm gonna bring it over to you. So Alec, he has a facility out in Brooklyn called BROOKLAN. You know what I'm saying? Like the land systems, BROOKLAN. So Alec, man, please, man, whatever question you got, you know, for the one and only Eric Adams, please drop it on him right now.
I mean, Mr. Adams, I think you covered more than everything. I think a lot, you know, of what I've talked about with the community board here in Bushwick is so much of what you've touched on, from bringing in STEM programs and bringing in just the education where it's a different way of learning, right? It's ways that, you know, kids understand. It's the way that even like adults understand. And I think it's something that to really bring and to keep everyone excited about learning, you know, pushing STEM, pushing computer science, pushing all of these other facets. You know, I was saying earlier, bringing in people, you know, from the community in a ton of different roles, you know, from production to content creation to the tech side to the STEM. So, you know, thank you, you know, for keeping everything very progressive and forward thinking here. Don't really have any questions, but I'll toss it off to Anthony.
Yeah, and I want to learn more about BROOKLAN, and so you know, please send me over information. I would love to come by, take a visit, see what you're doing, and how do we scale it up. You know,
we would love that. Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about here.
Absolutely.
So Eric, Anthony. So he's with Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses is one of the most important, prolific esport organizations in the gaming industry. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you right now, like, Anthony, it's your shot. It's your time, bro. Yo, Whatever question you got, talk to my boy E. Let's go.
No, and I appreciate it. Once again, like, what's it going to take for me to get you to just pick up the phone for me every morning and talk to me, man? Because like you will get me out of bed and so excited to just get after my day, man. Like, damn. But no, Eric, I really appreciate your time and all that you're doing within your community and all the work that you're putting out. And so the question though, it's nothing about me really, right? It's all about you. It's about you, your team, your community. So with what you know about the space, about the industry, with how I just got led in, how my company Evil Geniuses was just segued in here. How can a company that exists in the top professional point of the esports organization, the gaming industry, help you? How can we help you and your community? How can we help accelerate your agenda, your initiatives? How can we make this more streamlined for you?
I love that. I love that. And I appreciate you for that. Number one, we need to do more of these. And Borough Hall, as soon as we open back up, we should do, the building is yours to use. We should be doing every weekly or every 2 weeks, gaming industry, educating our young people on gaming, having game competition. I am meeting with a group of gang members next week. I'm sitting down with them, and I'm going to talk about this. So we should open Borough Hall. A lot of those young people have never been in Borough Hall before. They think it's a building that they only could walk past. But if we lure them in by having instructions about the entire picture of gaming, they will first start getting empowered. So I would love to partner with all of you, BROOKLAN, your organization, all of you, to start letting our young people know the power within the gaming industry. And I open up the building to you to do so. And then we can take the show on the road, go into the NYCHA developments in South Jamaica, Queens, 40 projects, Brownsville, South
Let's
Bronx.
go.
We take it on the road because young people are ready. And they have always blown the winds of change. And I think through gaming, we're going to give them the opportunity to take a deep breath and flow this globe in the direction that they wanted to go into. And so you are onto something. Trust me. I know when someone is in the right direction, there's an entire movement in gaming. Do gaming of showing them how the power of running an election, the power of running for office, the power of understanding their community, the community boards, all those things you're talking about. There's a hidden weapon that's inside gaming that will really empower people and young people who play you all day. My son at least spend 7-8 hours, doing his gaming all the time, all day. Let's now utilize those opportunities for empowerment and not just entertainment.
That's what I'm talking about. So look, I know we at that point. It's almost 7:15. The last thing that I would say, and I think this would be a great way to close it out with you, Eric, is there any other person in the political world that you would love to battle in a game? Talk to me, bro. And like Evil Geniuses could set it up. You could be on Team Evil Genius or something like that. We get another squad or whatever. But I think it'd be dope if we had like some people from the gang units, people from the cops, like you, and put all of us together from different walks of life on the same team against another crew on the same walks of life as different teams, and we battle each other. What game though, E? What game you want to battle somebody in? And if there's somebody that you want to call out right now, call them out, yo. Let's go.
You know what? Since I can't compete against Trump because he won't come. I'll compete against the president of the Mullins, the president of the SBA.
Oh, he got called out. Let's go, Mo. Let's go, baby. Brooklyn over here. Let's go.
I'm going to call him and say, listen, let's go one-on-one.
That'd be fun.
You can come compete here anytime.
Yeah,
doors open. Doors open. Let's go.
This has been great. So E, one love and God bless. Thank you so much and take care, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
HipHopGamer. Logitech.